Hello there, welcome to the Maverick channel, and here we cover crypto content of all sorts. Now, of recent, I've started a segment where I cover cryptocurrencies that are in the top 100, but their names aren't necessarily, should we call it, mainstream in the crypto space. So today we're going to cover a currency or a cryptocurrency called Chiliz, which is rather an interesting ecosystem because of what they're trying to do or what made them popular. They started way back in 2018. They're seeing a vacuum in the market and they're trying to fill it in a rather interesting way with some interesting partners. Now, these are some of the names that are not mainstream, like Ethereum, like Polygon, of course, Bitcoin speaks for itself, like Binance attached to an exchange, like DAI, a stablecoin, Polkadot trying to solve interoperability, Uniswap in the decentralized exchange arena. These are some of the tokens that are in the top 100, but you have to ask yourself why they're there. And of course, the cryptocurrency market is seeing a tank, which is, I guess, kind of obvious because it had shot up on the news of the arrest of Sam Bankman-Fried, who's the former CEO of FTX Exchange. You know, a lot of money was stolen, a lot of people lost their savings. But so after that trade, after that excitement that he was arrested, we're seeing a retracement in the market. But remember, all bull markets are fronted by some kind of innovation in the cryptocurrency space. In 2018, it was the ICO. Recently, it was DeFi and some of the use cases of smart contracts in that way. And the next bull market, fine, there'll be the halvening of Bitcoin where the reward per block is reduced. But we'll still see some other kind of innovation that will excite the market. Maybe it's a use case of an older technology or a better use case of smart contracts or scalability. But yeah, that is the trend of the crypto market. It has to be fronted by some kind of excitement within the market, something that brings excitement in the market that causes it to pump. Now, today we're going to review Chiliz. Now, if this is CoinGecko, which is one of the most popular sites, but there's also CoinMarketCap. So Chiliz on CoinGecko is number 57 by market capitalization, and on CoinMarketCap it's number 49 by market capitalization. So these numbers kind of differ, or their positions, depending on what crypto. Some of these platforms list some cryptocurrencies, some don't list them. Some list some exchanges. For example, if you look at the market, they might list a cryptocurrency but not list an exchange, or list lower volume in a particular exchange, or not list some exchanges. So that causes a difference within the market capitalization or within the volume of certain cryptocurrencies. So whatever reason they might use to differ these cryptos. So it's always good to use more than one platform to try and view something, especially in this space, so you get a bit of a subjective view from you get different angles from different platforms. But there's some things that are constant. For example, they have their website. They're based on Ethereum ERC20 token, but they also have other markets like the Binance Smart Chain and Solana. So they're interoperable with those platforms. You can use a bridge to bridge over the tokens, or you can buy the versions of those tokens on an exchange that offers them, whether it's a centralized exchange or decentralized exchange. They're audited by CertiK, one of the biggest auditing firms, and you can see they specialize in sports, collectibles and NFTs, content creation and payments, and we're going to see how they're developing into that sector. They're currently 11 cents, which is not too bad because historically they were at about 87 cents. So they've gone down by about 84% from their all-time high. But otherwise, their initial price offering was about 2 cents way back in 2018 or 2019. So which means someone that, invested in their tokens, if that's what you're into, guys, it's not investment advice, he's still in profits, or he or she is still in profits. And you could have also cashed out at the highest point, which was way back in 2021, which was, last year. So there's some good profit margins, but this, you can, extend that to other cryptocurrencies because that's the nature of the bull markets. Anything, whether it has a use case or not, it pumps in price. And you can see some of the exchanges it's listed on. Binance has the highest 24-hour trade volume. CoinDXC, Bybit, DCX, Bybit, Upbit, HitBTC, Binance again. So these are trading pairs, and those are things that are common to all cryptocurrencies. That's a nice way to see how many hands are exchanging the cryptocurrency. They have rather huge following on Twitter, 474,000.6 followers. So that's quite interesting. It means at some point there was a lot of attention on them, and you can see they're actively participating. What's interesting about these guys is that they have a lot of partners from which they've actually, developed these tokens that are attached to certain teams, actual football teams especially, and other sports teams, which can be traded by the fans. Sort of, it gives you a stake in those tokens, in those platforms, or in those teams, and you can actually win certain prizes. So there's a market that they're trying to fill, there's a vacuum that they're trying to fill, which is quite interesting. And you can see they've been posting over and over again. They've been recognized by Binance. They continue to do Ask Me Anythings, where they talk about their progression and recent listings, like Tigers or Tigress. I thought it was spelled as Tigers, but this could be another team. So these are actual international teams, as we're going to see, that are partnering with them to create these fan tokens, as they call them, that are trading off their token, which is called the Chiliz token, to create an exchange, to create some kind of value within the sports arena, which is quite interesting. Now, of course, when you go to their website, I'm not going to review every single thing. They do the basics of reviewing the token, the current price, the sentiment in the market. It's kind of in a bear trend, just like all the other tokens. But what's interesting, some of their trade pairs are in a sort of bullish trend. Especially, they have the Argentina token. It's in the World Cup, and a lot of people are speculating on that. So it's good to see that there's that kind of attention. But anyways, this point of the website just talks about their ticker, which is the Chiliz token, which is the main trading pair. So CHZ, it's an ERC20, and Binance token as well, which is BEP2. The issuing price was 2 cents, as you can see. The circulating supply, the total supply is about 8.8 billion of them, and the circulating supply, you can actually see it on some of these platforms like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, which is 6 billion. Maximum supply is 8.8. Total supply is 8.8 billion. You can see the trade volume and all those things. You can see the token allocation as well. The total Chiliz supply is 8.8 this. The private placement is 3 billion of those. Chiliz issued to team plus seed investors is 1 billion of them. So that's how they kind of, I guess, do these, partnerships, and as well as the team that's developing for them, which is quite rather a large team as well. Market operations, they can use that in case the prices pump. If these are serious projects, they can actually trade these tokens during the bull market, which doesn't affect the price a lot if there's a lot of speculation, which can then in turn give them money to extend their development. So they try to build out the platform in all kinds of ways, but you can read all these, they're different products that they're offering, but there's something interesting that we'll come across. There's Chiliz Entertainment, which talks about some of the product suites they're trying to build to cover more on the entertainment side, which is their main thing. But there's this part of their website where they sort of define what the Chiliz token is. Chiliz is a currency option for blockchain-backed product and services geared towards mainstream consumers. We want to elevate everyday experiences, fun, engagement in entertainment, alternative payment solutions for conventional products, and more. Chiliz provides sports and entertainment entities with blockchain-based tools to help them engage and monetize their audiences. So they're trying to monetize this thing, and of course you can read more about them, like their socials platform, which is attached to an application as well. So they have an Android and iOS application that you can download to trade these different tokens that are attached to different teams, and also to engage into these different prices that you might get because these tokens give you a certain affiliation to some of these partnerships and some of these teams that they have. So there's a sector they're trying to cover. Like, for example, here they talk about the OG fan token, which is representative of a team. They play video games like Dota 2. They've won a couple of games that they've played. They've taken first place in that arena. So they've showed and they showcased how they gave some of the fans that had bought. There's one particular fan that had bought into this, this token or that ecosystem, and they gave them a trip to Singapore, everything, all expenses paid for. So that's some of the things that they give out, or they try to incentivize people to engage in this ecosystem of theirs. It's actually here, we gave a once in a lifetime trip to Singapore because they invested in this OG. OG were founded in 2015, for example, having two teams, Dota 2 and Counter-Strike and Global Offensive, and their team names, some of the competitions that they've won. So their major wins in Frankfurt, in Monaco Major 2016, Boston Major 2016. So they're trying to they have these legitimate partnerships, not just small scale partnerships, but actual teams that are out there. And we're going to see some of these major teams buy the Fantoken. And of course, they have a disclaimer on their website, which is responsible trading. They're not trying to promote trading. So Fantokens should not be used as a speculative basis or a means for financial gains. Fantokens are subject to price fluctuations due to club performances, transfer news, etc. You will never be able to control the market in the same way that you can never guarantee that your club will win the Champions League. You should never expect to make money from trading Fantokens. Of course, they have to have these disclaimers because this is the nature of open markets. People should be able to do whatever they want, but at the back of their mind, they should know that these are decentralized tokens. They can be traded by literally any of the 6 billion people in this world. So which means any news, any sentiment, anything literally can move these markets in whichever direction. Could be excitement, could be fear in a certain country where a lot of people trade those tokens. You just never know. Anything could happen. So when you look more into their community or their website, they talk about some of the other product suites like fantokenranking.com, which is an exchange, which is quite interesting. The fund market cap, socials, journal. So these are some of the products, guys, that you may want to look into. But before we look at some of these products, it's quite interesting. Here they list some of their partners. Chiliz, which is CHZ, drivingsocials.com. Socials.com is this platform that we've looked at, which is a platform that encapsulates their products that they're trying to build. So here they explain some of the partnerships they've acquired, which is quite interesting. AR-enabled features, chat forums, games, competitions, and allow them to compete in global leaderboards. Socials.com first launched in late 2019 and the first fan token for Italian soccer team. So you see the Italian soccer team, Juventus, arrived shortly after Paris Saint-Germain, Atlético de Madrid, Galatasaray, AS Roma, FC Barcelona. We're also among the early partners, but many more have followed since. Both Inter Milan and Valencia CF will promote their fan tokens from the front of their shirts through 2021 and 2022, which is interesting. They're forming these very huge, very interesting, very out there partners that are known, not just small soccer teams, which is also good, but it's interesting to see these large teams being captured. Now, when you look at their market capitalization or their website that captures these tokens that they launch on the Chiliz blockchain, because the Chiliz token is an underlying token on their own blockchain, so they're able to launch other tokens on their own ecosystem, which is quite interesting because it's not easy to spin off something like that. So you can see Paris Saint-Germain trading at $6. We're in the bear market. The Argentine Football Association, SS Lazio, Santos FC, FC Barcelona, FC Porto, Manchester City, Alpine F1 team, AC Milan, the OG team that we've looked at, Juventus, Arsenal. So these are very massive known names in football, in other arenas like online gaming and all that, they're having these partnerships or they're having these tokens that seem to be attached to them, where fans can purchase these tokens and actually make decisions. For example, you see Paris Saint-Germain, it's an actual team. Paris Saint-Germain Football Club, commonly referred to as Paris Saint-Germain Paris, or simply PSG, is a professional football club based in Paris, and others as well, like Tigres, UNL is a Mexican football team. So and other big names, Arsenal, all those, Manchester City. So which is quite interesting. They're developing all these partnerships. Of course, this is their team, and then explodes into a larger team. And I imagine these people serve different roles. So this is something you might want to look into because you want a cryptocurrency or a technology, I don't even know what to refer to them at this point, which is affiliated with a lot of people building out their product. Marketing is also very important, and brainstorming about different ways they can improve upon it. And this showcases their market as well, which is, for example, the ARG or Argentina with Chiliz, which is pumping because, of course, Argentina is qualified for the World Cup. So you can see it has risen by 43.8%, guys. PSG, another team, 36%. Guys, we're in the depth of the bear market, and there are traders out there that are making a killing of these tokens that are listed on this seemingly siloed platform that are having their own activity separate from what the other cryptocurrency community knows. And this is what we're talking about. We're going to have different ecosystems as cryptocurrencies evolve. We're going to see different siloed ecosystems that are serving their own purpose, that are pumping in price, or that are having significant development because their own communities are interested in what they're doing. They've built out a whole exchange which garners more demand for the Chiliz token CHZ, because all these pairs basically traded against the Chiliz token, which means there's some always constant demand for the Chiliz token. And you can see the graphs in the 24 hours. You can see this uptick in these graphs, Guys, obviously this is not investment advice. And if you invest based on what I'm telling you today and you get wrecked, you have to take responsibility of your own actions, because this is a new and nascent, ecosystem, financial technology of cryptocurrency. No one out there knows what this market is going to do. No one out there knows what a true product market fit is going to be. And all these experiments, regardless of whether some maximalists might like them or not, these are people that have gone out there to put in time to try and develop products that might or might not succeed. But it's quite interesting to look at them and see what is going on. So this is the part that excited me the most. They're sort of expanding beyond just their blockchain or beyond just creating tokens. But this is exciting thing. They want to expand into actually creating infrastructure that would allow people to create their own experiences. For example, creating an open ecosystem which will enable vetted third-party developers to build in parallel to socials.com. So the other website that we saw, expanding onto that, the one that has the application and that shows you the different products that you can trade, that for example, the reward features that different fan tokens might get you, or the polls, the token hunt, badges, the marketplace, predictor, the FTS season, and socials united. So all these products that they're trying to build out there. So building on top of that in an open source way would allow a lot of products that they don't even know about to expand into this space. So transitioning the CHZ or the Chiliz token away from simply being an option, an optimal in-app currency, and to its fruitful place as the network enabler of the open multi-vertical Chiliz chain version 2 ecosystem, unlocking further utility. And number 3, adopting a proof of stake authority model in which all approved stakeholders, whether it is social.com partners or others, will become node operators and benefit from continued adoption of the network. And of course, those that are in the cryptocurrency space, you know that the benefits of proof of stake is essentially having your own ecosystem which runs its own nodes, which means the networks are secure and the holders of those tokens can stake those tokens to constantly get or generate some sort of passive income. So as the ecosystem does well, these tokens are actually much more valuable. But of course, everything comes with risk. Sometimes you might be getting those rewards as the token is getting completely hammered. Just as I said, none of this obviously is financial advice, but you can experiment with a little bit. Don't invest more than you can't afford to lose. And this takes me back to this segment here, which is, don't invest. It's also stated here, don't invest more than you're looking to lose, or more than you can afford to lose. Those are things that you should know at the back of your mind, especially if you've been in the crypto space. Now, of course, this is a part of their website where they talk about the blog and their features, where they've been CoinDesk, Decrypt.com, and other platforms, Cointelegraph that I mentioned them, Yahoo, guys, Forbes, Sky Sports, all these big names might mention your name. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but this is attention to this token, and I think that speaks to, or this platform, and that speaks to why they have such a huge social following, especially if they're targeting a market of sports and football, which is massive in the whole world, the biggest sport in the whole world. But they're also tapping into other things like online games and other kinds of entertainment. So they're trying to go into the entertainment arena. They have their exchange for trading those tokens, and as we've seen, they're actually partnering. This is just one of the teams, but of course, those that do not know, I imagine everyone knows Arsenal FC Club. These are massive, clubs in Europe, in Champions League, and all these that they form these tokens in partnership with this platform to allow or to enable their fans to have a next level interactions with their teams, to be able to bet on what their teams are doing. And if these platforms become extremely successful, I imagine some of the biggest holders not only will get some rewards like making trips, but will be able to make some decisions on some fundamental governance policies. Maybe they say, oh, the holders of these tokens will be able to vote on this new thing that this team wants to do, which will be exciting. But we're seeing all these products being developed, all these different experiments being performed in the crypto space with this technology that started way back in 29 from Bitcoin and blockchain and these different consensus algorithms. We're seeing how it's evolving into some of these products that, you know, people are trying to experiment with today. All right, guys, if you're interested in this, if you're a entertainment person and you want to look more into this, this was just sort of a nudge for you to go and do more research in this. Maybe this might be your arena. Maybe this is something that excites you. And I wish you all the best, guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.